You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It is February 22nd, 2018. It is another episode of the Impact Implosion here on the AngryMarks Podcast Network. As always, I am Seth Draken, and I sadly do not have any catchy timeline, so here's the co-host, Mike Poland.
Hello, everybody.
This is probably the second time I've been lame on that thing.
Do we have any news?
I'm looking at the news now.
Ratings are on the rise.
Little by little.
Little by little.
Yeah.
As they are as they seem to be for WWE in the last couple of weeks, too.
Yes. Billy Corgan said Magnus was openly buried in meetings. Jeez, I wonder. Well, during his run, this was, he said this, in February 14th, or February 12th, he said this in an interview, but
But Magnus wasn't there in Impact during Corgan's run there.
Well, I know, he was just, cause he's working with Magnus now, Nick Aldis, as part of NWA.
Didn't he just have a match with James Ellsworth?
I think so.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Aldis is your NWA champion right now.
James Ellsworth, he'll save the NWA.
You might remember a former interviewer named Letitia Klein.
Yes.
She set up a GoFundMe for a fence for her dog because she is having surgery on her hip, and her grandmother has dementia, and she has a large wolf dog oh no, not her hip, her knee.
There's a lot of bad things going on in that family.
She reached the goal, so she has a fence now. They helped her out on that one. They understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get a fence for your dog. It's obviously not exactly being good on Impact's not paying you much. So.
She hasn't been there in 10 years.
I know, but even then, Impact exactly wasn't paying you anything either, so.
It'd be like that other interview chick that they had suing them. What was her name, Lauren?
Yeah. So Rosemary's still been very quiet on the, about her injury, although she's missed a few dates since then.
I wonder if I guess she probably won't be on the next pay-per-view card, because it looks like both the feuds are going to be blown up before then on TV.
No, I think the next feud might actually have a match that sets up with the two, and then they no, this feud will be blown off, the one with Anaya, but the one with Taya is they did have a match, but
no, they had another one that was no DQ that I saw.
they had it. That's what I said. They had a no DQ match. And then I guess there's going to be another match, maybe. The Red Wedding or whatever.
Oh, we're finally going to get that payoff, huh?
Maybe. Eventually. Who knows?
One day.
One day we'll get that. We'll get to find out what the hell that means.
The first blood match.
Yeah. Well, we assumed. We never knew. They never said.
Red Wedding. We're not going to have a Billy Idol appearance.
No. Nah, they're too cheap for Billy Idol. So, there was not much news other than that. Also, WrestleCon will be, no, there is a few more news. I forgot about it. WrestleCon, TNA will be airing that on Twitch at the same time as the Hall of Fame.
And nobody will watch either of them.
And And I forgot to mention this.
They
Jeff
got Teddy
Jarrett's
Hart
going.
for that WrestleCon show too.
Oh yeah, and Jeff Jarrett's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yay!
Yeah. Hopefully he'll stay sober. I think he will. He's been in rehab. Hopefully he stays. Because we've known plenty of people who go to rehab and then for a little while and then just fuck up.
Yep. Scott Hall.
Yes.
Many times.
Yeah, Scott Hall, who's finally gotten his life together. Finally.
DDP.
Yeah. And Jake Roberts, same thing, DDP, and Jeff Hardy, although not DDP, just being an idiot and finally realizing, I gotta.
Showed up to a pay-per-view draw.
Jeff Hardy, I gotta stop fucking up. Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
And then that became broken a few years later.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy's like, yeah, I gotta stop being a dumbass.
Anyway, on to the shows here.
Let's go to the last week's show, which was basically, we had on demand, then we have a video package of Aries versus Eli Drake, that'll be happen tonight, and our first match is Sami Callihan versus Franklin. And the one ref who's refereeing this match decided those color braids had to go. So let me dye them back to normal color. This match was actually decent, good. I actually like this match. There was a spot. Sami Callihan hocked the loogie in his hand, watched it drip.
Ew.
And then chopped Franklin with that hand.
Oh, God.
Yes.
That's gross.
That happened.
That's gross.
So there was some other stuff. Franklin, OVE for the Chris.
Franklin made it out of the trunk of his car somehow.
Yeah. Franklin went for a spear, and Sami Callihan countered with a guillotine. But later Franklin hit another spear, but the Chris broke it up and DQ.
And Eddie Edwards made the save.
They were beating up Franklin, but Eddie Edwards came out to make the save. Eddie and Franklin stood tall.
And they've mended fences, and they're going to team up in a match.
Yeah.
We'll talk about later.
Yeah. Mackenzie interviewed Eli Drake, talking about how this is still a first match, not a rematch. Still first match. I'm still champion. Yeah, it's a rematch. It's heel logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's going to win it. So we go to the LA clubhouse. They're still talking about the cult of Lee being assholes, and Conan wants Homicide to expand operations in Mexico City.
North Carolina. No, Mexico City.
Yeah, Mexico City. And that means we won't be seeing Homicide for a while.
They don't really need him.
The GWN moment of the week.
Yay.
The wedding between LVN and Braxton Sutter. It's amazing.
God.
So many people in that segment are no longer with the company.
Mike Bennett, Maria, Sienna.
Oh, Sienna's still with the company. Rockstar Spud. Aaron Rex.
All the heels except for Sienna and Laurel.
Yes, are still there. And Allie's still there. And Braxton Sutter's still there. That's about it. Oh, and Brooke's no longer there, too, who showed up. And Robbie E's no longer there, who also showed up.
For some reason.
Yeah, well, they went to fight Mike Bennett and Sienna. So Allie has arrived at the arena, hears a laugh, then sees that her bag has got a letter on it.
Oh my God, it's a note.
And it says from her secret admirer to meet her at Studio 22.
But isn't the Studio 21?
Studio 21's the one that had the aggro crag and all that. I think we're in Studio 22.
Don't do it, Allie. It's a trap.
Aries interviewed, and he talks about being the champion of Impact and having other title belts, and then believes something special is going on. I can't take that serious with straight face.
Again?
Something special's going on here. No, it's not.
Alberto said the same thing a year ago.
Yep.
Almost anyone that comes in from the Fed says that.
Also, Zeb Coulter and Bruce Pritchard said that yeah, we got to make Impact great again.
That said it.
Yeah.
They're wrong, but you know.
And we're back to Moose doing an interview, and Lamirda attacks him, so they fight.
At a random, well, we got Petey Williams and Matt Sydal first.
No, that's at
a random show in Canada.
That's at the next. This is the first tape from this week. From last week. We're doing last week's show. That happened this week, but next was Hanaya's second match on Impact against Rosemary, although she might have had an Implosion match, so this may be her third. I called her the Braden Walker, but with her third and upcoming fourth match, she'll have more matches than Braden Walker had on TV.
I'm gonna do something and then get released really quick.
Yep. So anyway, this was a nothing match. Rosemary beats Hanaya with a reversal of a body press for a 3 count.
Last week's show? Oh,
we're doing last week's show.
Okay, yeah.
So Hanaya attacks Rosemary after the match, is about to do some reverse DDT onto stage. Rosemary bites Hanaya and is about to hit a red wedding onto the stage, but Hanaya gets out and runs away. Just like Sir Robin. Brave Sir Robin from the Monty Python's Nights of the whole.
Get some Benny Hill music playing.
Yeah. The brave Sir Robin, he ran away. Brave Sir Robin ran away, struck his tail. So, Matt's backstage, talking to Johnny Impact about a third eye and his secret guru. And then EC3, who is supposed to have a secret partner tonight, just reveals it to be Tyrus.
Tyrus?
Yes, Tyrus says Tyrus. That botch.
Botchamania.
Yeah, I'm still calling him Tyrus. I will not get over that one. Hashtag Tyrus. Hashtag Tyrus Smash.
Tyrus Crush. Oh, wait, that's somebody else. Never mind.
Yeah. So, Allie is now at stage 22 where Meyer told her to meet her. There's a box of chocolates left for her. Elvian comes out of a box and gets beat up with the chocolates.
What?
She gets hit with the box of chocolates. Gets beat up some more and then thrown back into the box.
Oh, you really never know what you're gonna get, do you?
No, and then Allie kicks the box, even though it did nothing.
She is Allie Gump.
Yep. Then we get a tag match. Matt Sydal and Johnny Impact versus EC3 and Tyrus. Josh asks about the secret spiritual advisor, and Dunn has no idea who it is. You're all gonna laugh.
Out.
Yeah, you're all gonna laugh when we find that out. And Josh says, once again, Johnny Impact is trending worldwide, which it is.
God, you're a liar.
And then announced that at WrestleCon in New Orleans, Teddy Hart will be making his Impact Wrestling debut. Oh, yes, he was there before, I know, but it was called the NWA TNA back then.
Yes, and I'm sure that'll work out just fine for them.
Yeah.
Teddy Hart, everybody.
It's not like Teddy Hart's a freaking risk.
Or dependable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks for Impact goes for the Impact kick. But Tyrus grabs his feet, and then EC3 rolls him up with his feet on the ropes for the win.
Yay, cheating.
Then we go to Jimmy Jacobs and Congo Cat as they found the new offices of Park and Park.
Oh, this one's not a fraud, you mean?
No, there's a real office with a picture of Joseph's grandmother. And they destroy this office, and Jimmy Jacobs trashes the photo of Joseph's grandmother.
Oh, you don't do that. Come on. Grandma Park.
It's time for the debut match for Brian Cage against John Cruz. This didn't last long. Brian Cage beat him.
They're doing the Baron Corbin gimmick. They're having matches go under a minute. The Baron Corbin NXT gimmick.
Yeah, and suplex into a tombstone piledriver, or as he calls it, the drill claw. Later this week, that's what it's called.
Drill claw.
Drill claw. And then Colt Lee's outside talking about LAX and saying, well, we gotta find them and beat them up. And then they barge in, and it's Falaba eating a jar full of M&Ms.
Okay, Ben. Wrong locker room.
And they're like, oh, you're gonna eat that jar of M&Ms. Ah! Because he's fat. And then they see the Mumbai Cats. Think they're LAX in disguise. Beat them up. They are not LAX, but they're not, as Dutt said later, they are not the Mumbai Cats either. Just two guys in those masks.
Stagehands.
Yes.
Literally, stagehands.
Yes. I'm for the X Division title match as Taiji Ishimori defends against Chocolate. Josh mentions the theme that Ishimori comes out to is from a band called Mothball. And the song is called Fight It Out, and explains also that the whole 6 bowl mask he wears. All the other members of the band have 1 through 5 the same mask, so he has 6, and he was in the music video for Fight It Out. Well, this is legit.
Hey, he's not making it up.
No, we're not making it up. This is legit.
By the way, Sanjay Dutt on commentary, since we haven't talked about it. What do you think of that?
I think he brings more life to it than the past. He's trying.
Yeah.
See, I think Josh has a better working with him than he does with JB.
More act.
Yeah.
Him and Pope are pretty good.
Yeah. So maybe
I think it's the whole trope of the former wrestler and the kind of non-wrestler, the Jesse Ventura, Vince McMahon thing from the 80s.
Yeah, maybe it's just 2 wrestling announcers trying to be wrestling announcers, and you lose the emotion, kind of, while 2 guys are the same thing.
Yep, and on to our next match.
Oh, actually, no. Taiji Ishimori did a really nice tope, not through the ropes, over the ropes, and landed right on over the ropes. Didn't even touch him at all. And lands on Chocolate, and then reverses Chocolate's attempt at the cradle tombstone, hits the tombstone with the knees, and then a 450 splash for the win. Fun match.
Yep.
Then we learn next week's card, which they did on this week's show, but I did not catch all of it. But next week's card is
next week's card, and then the Crossroads card.
One of the Crossroads card matches. Yeah, they did announce it. I lost focus. So next week, Moose versus La Mierda, Cult of Lee versus LAX in a non-title match, and Johnny Impact puts his number 1 contendership on the line against EC3.
Why would you, if you're a babyface, put your title shot that you earned on the line? I've never gotten that logic.
Because faces are idiots. They do. Good is dumb.
You earned your shots. You don't need to do anything.
Good is dumb.
Yes.
That's why evil always wins, according to
Evil always
Dark Helmet from Spaceballs. Evil, that's
Rain.
why evil always wins. Because
evil always triumphs.
Evil always wins because good is dumb.
Yes, because, yes.
So yes,
main
event time. Austin Aries comes out with his multiple belts and his shitty theme music against Eli Drake, who just has Chris Adonis.
You mean they couldn't recycle his old theme music? Come on.
No, man. Apparently not, because they need they don't want to mention Surge at all. And I think Surge did that theme music.
You don't have to mention him.
No, they don't want anything to do with Surge, so everyone's theme music
has to be terrible.
Yes, everyone's theme music has to be a theme music not from Surge, and I think Aries is singing in this song.
Oh, you mean like when Jeff Hardy was singing in his theme?
Yes, I have a feeling that was Aries' voice in his. So, nice of the company to keep harping on the fact that the man who had this company on his back for 8 months got jobbed out of the belt in 60 seconds. Yeah, they said the match was 60 seconds.
Fucked up a perfectly good title reign for a not so shocking
man in street clothes.
Yeah.
Who isn't even signed with the company.
Yeah, that's always smart. Your champion's not even signed.
Yeah. This was a fine match. There was a last chancery moment, but Adonis calls the distraction. Brainbuster by Aries for the win.
Yay.
So I give
Aries
this.
retains.
Yeah. So next, go to this week's show. And by the way, before I did this show, I was eating some of that smoky mountain barbecue chicken tenders from KFC. They're actually pretty good.
Delicious. Yes.
Yeah.
Those Ric Flair approved.
Yes. Or Reba McEntire approved.
Reba, Tito Santana's sister.
Not Reba. Reba.
Oh, you stop.
You stop.
Anyway.
I'm going to have you sent out of here.
You can't. I don't live with you. Anyway.
Okay. So anyway, this week's Impact show, EC3 with Tyrus shows up, and then Johnny Impact shows up on a golf cart. Random,
golf
but
cart racing.
Yeah. No, EC3 just has Tyrus with him, and he's ready for his match. And then Johnny Impact shows up, getting driven to the arena on a golf cart. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we had a recap of last week's show. And then the first match happens, LAX versus Cult of Lee, and Cult of Lee comes out with the LAX masks, looking like a bunch of buffoons trying to reenact it, LAX.
Southerners trying to mock Mexicans.
Yeah. Mexican street gangs. It does not go well. So,
no.
We then get told that we are doing matches from other places, one in Vegas and one in Toronto.
Well, at least highlights of them.
And Sanjay Dutt compares Trevor Lee to David Koresh. Trevor Lee has 1 follower, 2 on one night, and David had a lot. By the way, also in Waco, David and his followers stayed in a fucking burning building. Trevor Lee and
Andrew Edwards stayed in a sinking ship.
Yeah, they would not. Trevor Lee and I forget his partner's name. Caleb Conley would get the fuck out of that house. Well, the FBI would get the fuck out and get arrested by the FBI, who were all outside trying to smoke him out. That was what happened.
Mr. Koresh, would you come out here, please?
No, they stayed in and died. Because they were not, well, they're not exactly smart, and it made the FBI look bad for trying to smoke them out, and they died. They were trying to get, but anyways, Impact, there was a fall in the match. Fans in the Impact Zone say it was 3. Ref says it was 2. I rewinded it. It was 2.
I hate it when fans do that.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, Colta Lee wins. Trevor pins Santana with the jackknife roll, and he has a whole bunch of tights. They showed Santana's underwear in there. You could see his underwear.
Set up a match for Crossroads in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, and then it's time for another squash match for Brian Cage, this time against Hunter Law. Brian Cage makes work with him of Hunter Law with the drill claw.
Yep.
It's lasted only 3 seconds over a minute, as they said. And Josh wants to be Brian Cage for a day because of his power. I would like to be Brian Cage for a day because he is porking Melissa Santos.
Yes, me too.
And apparently Brian Cage read that. Because he responded. Here's what he responded with. LOL, both good day in life experience. Yeah, he laughed at that. And I said, yes, you are one lucky man on that. So yes, Brian Cage does read tweets. So anyway, Eddie Edwards talks to Franklin in the back about, we just gotta fight OVE tonight, even though we don't like each other. Let's just beat up OVE. And they says,
sure.
Tag
team partners have to like each other.
Yeah. So then we go to Toronto and Destiny Wrestling for an Impact Grand title match. As Matt Sydal defends against Petey Williams. And yes, they have, this arena looks like shit. The setup looks like, of course, the crowd looks more alive than the Impact Zone.
It's an indie show in the middle of bumfuck Canada.
No, Toronto.
Oh, it's Toronto, it's not.
Yeah, not bumfuck Canada. Yeah, Toronto would like to have a word with you. I'm sure Petey would.
Hey, matey.
Yeah. So this was a decent match. Petey, without, if you forget the shit that they freaking, edited the shit of this match.
Yeah.
And
this and the Moose Patrol match are both heavily edited because of time constraints.
Petey has a sharpshooter, but Matt Sydal gets the ropes. He's about to hit the Canadian Destroyer, but Sydal reverses into a cradle reverse tombstone pile driver for the win. No, not a regular pile driver. It's like more of a vertebraker looking move. Cradle. And yes, the match was cut shit. Sydal then reads a scroll from his spiritual advisor. I did not catch it. I did not care to.
His spiritual advisor, Lanny Poffo.
Oh, God, now I think about it. Yes, it's Lanny Poffo. I wish it was.
But it's not.
I know. I wish it was, too.
Mm.
And then he says that on March 8th, he's challenging Taiji Ishimori for the X Division title at Crossroads.
And he will be a double champion.
Yeah.
For at least a couple weeks.
Yeah. So then Jimmy Jacobs shows up backstage and says that he was hopes Abyss shows up tonight to face his new monster, Congo Cat.
He won't.
We get a commercial for Impact on Twitch for the live show WrestleCon.
Nobody will watch it.
Yeah. So here comes Jimmy Jacobs with Congo Cat. He says he wants Abyss to come out and play with his monster, but instead, here comes Grandma Jenny Park. We're really doing this.
Do you want to pet the kitty?
The kitty?
You call him Congo Cat.
No, oh yeah. No. Do not pet the cat, please.
Nope. He might actually eat you.
Yeah, this cat might actually eat you and become a bigger, fatter cat. So Jenny tells Jimmy to stop being mean or else.
Or else what?
And then Jimmy's like, I came out here for Abyss, not so old hag. And she slaps him. And he's like, good. And then he just nods to Congo Cat, and Cat's about to kill Grandma Jenny when Joseph Park comes out.
Hey, it's Joseph Park.
And he keeps saying that he promised his family Abyss is never coming back. So Jimmy just said, dude, I'd hate for bad things to happen to people, especially your Grandma Jenny. And he's like, you dare, do not.
Psychology, everybody.
Don't you dare hurt my grandma. So Congo Cat just beats up Joseph Park.
And he'll set up a match for next week.
He's like, bring Abyss back, or else.
Or else.
Then they just leave.
Question mark.
And then, here's Matt Sydal on the phone with a spiritual advisor to repeat that he's going to beat Ishimori and become a double champion at Crossroads on March 8th. Which makes no sense when we find out who the spiritual advisor is.
But more on that.
We'll get to, Then GWN, moment of the week, Moose's debut.
Moose debuted.
What's your GWA moment of the week? Okay, so then we go to Vegas and an event at Future Stars Wrestling, a no DQ match between Moose and LaMierda. And this does look like a bingo hall, but apparently this is a casino.
Not the same one that Ring of Honor runs their shows in when they go there, is it?
Yeah. Well, does the Ring of Honor show have deer antler chandeliers? Well, then it's not the same.
The Ring of Honor one's probably a bit bigger than this one looked.
Yes. And you remember those deer antler because this match was also edited like shit, and Moose threatened to superplex LaMierda, which would have been trouble because there is a low-hanging deer antler chandelier that would have fucking caused issues. Maybe LaMierda would have gotten impaled on the goddamn thing. But no, that didn't happen. LaMierda knew that shit. They didn't do it, so he got Moose down, and Moose is holding onto the ropes. So we get the turnbuckle double stomp, and LaMierda wins.
Boo.
Video package for Rosemary versus Anaya. They're going to have a no DQ match next week.
Next thing.
Then Mackenzie Mitchell interviews EC3 and Tyrus. They talk about how they're like the Avengers. Tyrus is Hulk, and EC3 is a combination of Captain America, Ant-Man, and then Tyrus says also Thor. Don't forget
Thor.
No, Thor.
Oh, I thought he said 4.
No, Thor.
Thor.
Yeah. So then we have the Chris brothers of OE with Sami Callihan, who has a baseball bat, versus Franklin and Eddie Edwards.
OE is terrible.
And then Josh, while this is going on, Josh says, you can do anything at WrestleCon. And I'm like, oh, very poor choice of words, buddy.
Because that's what everybody's going to do. Anything but watch this show.
No, but I do not know. Also, they can do anything at WrestleCon. No, you can't. Let me explain this to people who might go to WrestleCon. No, you can't do anything. You can do a lot of things, but not anything. By the way, in this match, that was also fine. Eddie Edwards hits a tope on two guys that Pope would have called the double shot of caffeine.
Double shot of caffeine.
I miss Pope.
Yes.
So yes, Eddie hits the Boston Knee Party as Franklin hits a spear on the outside for the win. The faces win in this match. So then we get a video package of Aries beating Drake last week. Drake says he shouldn't. Don't forget about him. He's going to get the belt back, and Aries is going to have a short title reign.
Don't forget about him, but Impact Booking will.
Yes. So I forgot. So then main event time.
Next week is Congo Kong versus Joseph Park, and Rosemary versus Tanaya, and we'll hear from Laurel Van Ness.
Yeah, for a commitment ceremony. I don't know what the fuck that is.
God, we're still doing that angle.
And at
Crossroads, it'll be LAX versus Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley
for the tag.
Ishimori, and the winner of our next match against Aries.
Yeah, for the world title.
Yep.
So, main event time, Johnny Impact gives his glasses to fans, and just to be a complete fucking dick about it, Tyrus took the glasses from the fan and destroys them.
Yay, Tyrus.
Just to be a fucking dick. Douche. And by the way, the Demon Assassin says, a no DQ match next week, you say. Consider it a date, Impact Wrestling. And I'm like, I'll bring flowers.
I'll bring wine.
Yeah. So yeah, this was actually the best match of the night, between these two. We had a standing Spanish Fly Impact, 2 count, Super TK3, 2 count. I don't even think I need to say who did that 2 count. AC3 tried his feet on the ropes pin like he did last week, only got a 2 count this time. Impact went for the Starship Pain, but Tyrus interfered. The ref went mad at Tyrus for doing this, and he's yelling at him. EC3 hits the 1%er, and the ref goes for the pin. The ref gets a little late. Would have been 3 count, but ends up being a 2 count. EC3 goes out and yells at Tyrus for doing his fucking job and getting fucking caught. And Tyrus just says, fuck you, leaves, pushes and leaves him. And then we go to the finish as Johnny Impact hits the Starship Pain and still number 1 contender.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes Aries with his banana and shitty music and the title, of course, for a stare down with Johnny Impact. 2 men shake hands and the show ends. I give this a C.
Yep, both shows good to see.
I'm trying to remember. I think there was a Pluto TV moment of the last week's show.
Yep.
A moment of the week on last week's show. I don't remember I'm checking to see what it was. Because it was there. It's probably not there. I don't remember. So, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, well. But anyway, do you have anything to sell this week?
Limitless Wrestling presents Only Fools Are Satisfied on March 30th in Westbrook. On the card so far, we have the return of the 6-man scramble. We have a match featuring Danger Kid against an opponent as chosen by Joey Eastman.
Will it be like the scramble on WWE Scramble? Where you pin a guy, they're the champion.
There's no champion to Limitless.
Okay.
It's just
so
a one-fall.
Yeah.
It's a one-fall scramble match.
Okay. Yep. I just had to ask.
Yep. Martin Stone takes on All Good Anthony Green. Maxwell Jacob Friedman will take on Darby Allin. And in the main event, it is Josh Briggs, JT Donadio Romero to take on the team of Teddy Hart, A.R. Fox, and Shane Strickland, which was supposed to be Sami Callihan, but he had another booking that night.
Well.
And more will be Or it'll be announced as we go along here.
Okay. Next weekend, will be the induction of From Dusk Till Dawn 2. Texas Blood Money. But, I also have, with that being said, I also have this week's poll for Monster Crap. And I gotta find it.
Boy.
Although there is a clear winner right now, it looks like. But anything can happen in the less than 2 days. We're almost 1 day left. We have Night of the Living Dead 3D, 2006. Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes, 2006. I'm not even going with the taglines, the little subtitles I put on them. The Grudge 2, 2006. So 3 Mills 2006, I know. Lost Boys the Tribe, 2008. Final Days of Planet Earth, another 2006 movie. 2006 must have been a bad year. Hello, Mary. Hello, Mary. Yeah. Hello, Mary Lou. Prom Night 2, 1987. Stevie, it's a different Grudge movie. It's the Grudge 2, not the Ju-on ones. It's the American versions. So yes, 2005's, The Cave, 1989's Puppet Master, another Gamera movie, from 1969 as he's versus Giron, who is basically a monster with a butter knife head. I'm not kidding. He's a lizard with a butter knife for a head. And Meridian Kiss of the Beast, which is falling in love with a monster rapist. And, it looks like Gamera's winning right now. I can't believe the idea of a monster rapist is not winning.
A monster rapist.
Yeah, two brothers are monster rapists. They rape people, and they're cursed apparently, and the only way to curse them is to be in love with them. Release them of the curse.
Oh God, it's one of those.
Yes, it is one of those movies. And with that being said, we are heading to bed. I mean, Miley,
Good night, everybody.